If you're a real estate agent and you have questions on lending guidelines or want to basically like ask a lender a question, but you maybe feel stupid, feel shy, you don't want to reach out to your lender. Again, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So always reach out to a lender if you do have a question. Any lender that gets mad at you for asking them for advice is a bad lender. You should definitely be working with lenders who are going to help you. But what I'm going to show you is probably something that you are not aware of. And this would be like the end all be all for 80% of the questions that you would have as a real estate agent. So check it out. Okay, so we are here on the Fannie Mae Selling Guide website. So what is this? So if you go to sellingguide.fanniemae.com, there is what's called a selling guide. Okay, and then there's this little tool called Ask Polly. So let's say I'm a real estate agent and I had a question about gift funds. You come here to this little search block, type in gift funds, and you'll see what is the policy on gift funds. Gee, I wonder what the policy is on gift funds. So you click that, and here is from the source, from Fannie Mae. Gift funds, acceptable donors, minimum borrower contribution requirements, documentation requirements, verifying donor availability of funds, and transfer of gift funds. So gift funds basically says gift funds are allowed on a principal residence or second home. It can be a personal gift from an acceptable donor. So that's another question, right? Who's an acceptable donor? Gifts are not allowed on an investment property. Got it. So acceptable donor, right? Who can be a giftor, let's say. So a gift can be provided by a relative defined as a borrower's spouse, borrower's child, or other dependent, or by any other individual who's related to the borrower by blood, marriage, adoption, or legal guardianship, or a non-relative that shares a familial relationship with the borrower, defined as a domestic partner, an individual who's engaged to marry the borrower, so a fiancé, former relative, or godparent. And former relative, that is like your ex's mother could give you a gift. Okay, and then minimum borrower contributions, I won't get into all that, but documentation requirements, again, not getting into all that in this video. And then what it takes to verify the availability of funds and the transfer funds, again, not getting into that into this video, but this Fannie Mae Selling Guide is your one-stop shop to all questions real estate. If you wanted to ask a lender about ADUs, okay, just type in ADU, how is an accessory dwelling unit defined? Okay, let's go read about ADUs. This topic contains information on Fannie Mae's unique property eligibility requirements, including accessory dwelling units, multiple parcels, mixed-use properties, Hawaiian lava zones, properties with solar panels. So, ADUs. An ADU is typically an additional living area independent of the primary dwelling that may have been added to, created within, or detached from a primary one-unit dwelling. The ADU must be subordinate in size to the primary dwelling. It must have the following separate features from the primary dwelling: a means of ingress or egress. It must have kitchen, sleeping area, bathing area, bathroom facilities. The ADU may, but is not required to, include access to the primary dwelling. However, it is not considered an ADU if it can only be accessed through the primary dwelling or the area that is open to the primary dwelling. Okay, so that basically wraps up ADUs. So let me think of another one. Okay, self-employed income. Okay, so you type in self-employed income, hit go, and you can see income and employment documentation for DU, underwriting factors and documentation for self-employed borrower. Yeah, all right, we'll check that out. This topic contains general information on underwriting factors and documentation for self-employed borrowers, including the following, blah, 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 blah. Okay, use of business assets. That's another one. Okay, I have a business, my business has an account. Can I use my business's accounts? So you click on business assets. The lender must perform a business cash flow analysis to determine that the withdrawal of funds for this transaction will not have a negative impact on the business. In order to assess the impact, the lender may require a level of documentation greater than what is required to evaluate the borrower's business income. So you don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of this if you're an agent, but you can just understand that if they're going to use business funds that the lender is probably going to ask for more things. So, am I telling all of you to become lenders? No. Am I telling you to use this instead of talking to your lender? No. What I'm saying is, if you wanted to take it upon yourself, do some investigating. Fannie Mae Selling Guide might get you some information that would save you a little bit of time and better prepare you for a consultation with a client, so on and so forth. But in 100% of the cases, you need to be referring to your lender saying, hey, this is what I found out, but definitely confirm that with the lender. And then you just look like you know what you're doing. The clients trust you. And when they talk to the lender will be like, yep, that agent was on the ball, or they were close, and here's what we actually need. So that's my 2 cents. If you're an agent, the number one tip I would give you would be to use the tools available to you to just have better conversations with your clients. Cool. I'll see you guys in the next one.